All right, buckle up, tech enthusiasts. The news cycle is on fire, and we've got the hottest updates dropping right here on Qualcomm Pulse. Get ready for a rapid-fire rundown of what's shaking the foundations of your favorite industries. You won't want to miss a second of this. It's time to get plugged in. First up, we're hitting the gridiron with exclusive insights from every single NFL team. We're talking about breakout player projections, quarterback buzz that's electric, and trade rumors that could reshape the league. Who's poised for a massive season, and what moves are teams making behind the scenes? We've got the inside scoop. Then, we shift gears to the world of economics and government, where a significant stake in a major tech company is sparking a fierce debate. Is this a smart move for national security and technological advancement, or a slippery slope towards government overreach? We'll break down the arguments and the potential ripple effects. Next, we're diving into the heart of the semiconductor industry, where global talks and massive domestic deals are setting the stage for the future of AI. We'll explore how international negotiations and government investments are converging to shape the chip landscape, and what it means for innovation and competition. And finally, we're putting the power of AI directly into your hands by examining the best hardware for local computing. Forget the cloud for a moment. We're talking about the processors that will drive cutting-edge AI applications right on your device, and why certain chips are leading the pack for speed, security, and efficiency. Stick around, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and let's get started. Gridiron Intel Unleashed, all 32 NFL teams dissected. Get ready for an unparalleled deep dive into the NFL, as we bring you exclusive insights from every single team across the league. After extensive scouting and countless conversations with sources league-wide, we've compiled a treasure trove of information that goes beyond the surface. This isn't just about win-loss records, it's about the granular details that will define the upcoming season. We're uncovering the player projections that have evaluators buzzing, from potential breakout stars like Rome Odunze, whose leadership is already making waves, to the electrifying buzz surrounding rookie sensations like Drake May, who is impressing coaches and executives alike in his early days. The quarterback landscape is always a focal point, and we've got the latest on who's stepping up, who's facing challenges, and the impact of new coaching schemes on their performance. Will Josh Allen's Bills find that crucial defensive continuity? Can the Dolphins build on their new culture to overcome injury setbacks? What's the real story behind Christian Gonzalez's hamstring? We're exploring these questions and many more. Trade rumors are swirling, and we're dissecting the potential blockbuster moves that could reshape rosters and playoff hopefuls. From contract negotiations that signal long-term commitment, like Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson's extensions with the Jets, to the strategic roster construction happening behind the scenes, no stone is left unturned. We're looking at how teams are adapting, from the Ravens emphasizing explosive plays with Lamar Jackson to the Bengals believing Joe Burrow had his best camp yet. We'll also delve into defensive powerhouses, with Myles Garrett drawing comparisons to first-round draft capital and coordinators like Steve Spagnuolo and Vic Fangio being lauded as elite. Beyond the star power, we're spotlighting the crucial offensive line upgrades, the impact of new coaching philosophies on veteran quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence, and the sheer work ethic of rising stars like the Titans' Cam Ward. We're also tracking the development of promising rookies and the strategic decisions being made by front offices, whether it's the Broncos building on momentum or the Raiders embracing a new era under Chip Kelly. This comprehensive analysis covers everything from defensive stalwarts like Chris Jones to the potential head coaching trajectories of coordinators like Jesse Minter. This is the ultimate preview, packed with the kind of insider information that fuels the conversation all season long. We're talking about the players who are poised to make a name for themselves, the teams on the cusp of a breakthrough, and the strategic chess matches playing out across the league. Hold onto your hats, because the action on the field is just the beginning of our deep dive. Next, we're pivoting to a story that's igniting a firestorm in the world of economics and government policy. Government stake in Intel sparks fierce debate: free enterprise versus national security. A significant government investment, specifically a 10% stake in tech giant Intel, announced shortly after calls for its CEO's resignation, has ignited a firestorm of criticism from conservatives and economic policy experts. This move is being scrutinized as a potential deviation from free market principles, raising concerns about extensive government intervention in the private sector. Kevin Hassett, director of the White House National Economic Council, has amplified these concerns by suggesting that the Intel deal, while described as very, very special, might be a precursor to similar transactions in other industries. This prospect has drawn sharp rebukes. Adam Posen of the Peterson Foundation for International Economics expressed alarm, drawing parallels to dystopian literature and questioning the democratic legitimacy of such actions. Daniel DiMartino from the Manhattan Institute warned of increased cronyism and reduced company performance due to the expectation of bailouts, ultimately leading to significant taxpayer losses. Conservative talk show host Eric Erickson criticized the apparent inconsistency, stating, "You can't just be against socialism when the left does it." Proponents, including President Trump and administration officials, argue that this investment is crucial for increasing domestic chip production, reducing reliance on overseas manufacturing, and maintaining a technological edge over China, particularly in the AI race. They emphasize that the U.S. government, having already committed funds through the CHIPS and Science Act, should receive an equity stake in return. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick stated that the government is securing an equity stake for its money. However, critics point to Intel's longstanding struggles, noting its failure to adapt to mobile computing and its current lag in the AI chip race behind competitors like Nvidia and AMD. Scott Lincicome, a trade policy expert at the Cato Institute, argues that Intel is not a lean, mean, innovating machine, highlighting its substantial financial losses and workforce reductions. Concerns are mounting that the U.S. government's stake in Intel could lead to political pressure and cronyism. Intel itself has warned of potential adverse reactions from various stakeholders. Lincicome argues that companies may prioritize government alignment over economic efficiency, questioning decisions on facility location or hiring. Michael Strain of the American Enterprise Institute noted that companies might face pressure to avoid politically unpopular but necessary actions, like layoffs, if the government holds an equity stake. The potential for companies without government investment to be disadvantaged in securing contracts further complicates the landscape. This approach marks a departure from traditional conservative economic principles, with critics comparing it to mercantilism. While the CHIPS Act aims to boost domestic semiconductor competitiveness, the administration's move to take an equity stake, particularly by removing previously set benchmarks, is seen by many as a significant shift. The debate centers on whether government intervention is justified outside of crisis situations, contrasting with past bailouts during the 2008 financial crisis. Experts like DiMartino argue this blurs the lines between public and private sectors, moving towards state capitalism, while Lutnick frames it as capitalism. The core concern remains that such interventions can lead to market inefficiencies and misallocation of capital, potentially hindering long-term productivity and living standards. This significant government intervention in the tech sector is raising critical questions about the future of industrial policy. Now, let's pivot to how these global dynamics are playing out in the fast-paced world of semiconductor innovation. Nvidia's global gambit and Intel's $5.7 billion deal, reshaping the AI chip landscape. In a move that could significantly alter the global semiconductor market, Nvidia is reportedly in talks with the White House regarding the potential sale of its next-generation Blackwell AI chips in China. CEO Jensen Huang has indicated that these discussions are ongoing, focusing on necessary approvals and safeguards, signaling a delicate balance between market access and geopolitical considerations. Simultaneously, Intel has secured a substantial $5.7 billion infusion of cash as part of a recent agreement that grants the U.S. government approximately a 10% stake and a 5% warrant tied to foundry control. Intel CFO David Zinsner confirmed the receipt of these funds, which are intended to bolster domestic semiconductor manufacturing capabilities. However, the White House has clarified that the deal is still being finalized by the Department of Commerce, with some components, such as a $3 billion award from the Department of Defense, yet to be implemented, leaving room for potential adjustments. These developments underscore a critical convergence of technology, industrial policy, and labor market dynamics. The decisions surrounding chip export controls and approvals directly impact businesses' ability to generate revenue and innovate. Meanwhile, domestic policy actions, or the lack thereof, are increasingly shaping capital structures and strategic priorities within the industry. Analysts and policymakers are keenly observing hiring trends and regulatory actions to gauge the markets, and the labor force's reactions to these evolving conditions. Adding another layer to the complex AI ecosystem, a new working paper from Stanford University, utilizing ad payroll records, has documented significant declines in employment for younger workers, specifically 25-year-olds, in occupations highly exposed to AI. The paper's authors present regression evidence supporting this finding, emphasizing the substantial disruption facing early career professionals rather than focusing on a single statistic. This highlights the profound impact of artificial intelligence on the labor market, particularly for those just entering their careers, and raises questions about future workforce development and adaptation strategies. This confluence of international business negotiations, strategic government investments, and the observable impact on the workforce paints a vivid picture of the current AI landscape. Nvidia's potential expansion into the Chinese market, coupled with Intel's significant domestic partnership with the U.S. government, demonstrates the high stakes involved in the global race for AI dominance. These moves are not just about technological advancement. They are deeply intertwined with national economic strategies, supply chain resilience, and the future of employment in an increasingly automated world. The interplay between government policy, corporate strategy, and labor market realities will be crucial in determining the trajectory of the semiconductor industry and its impact on society. As the global chip industry navigates these complex international and domestic landscapes, the focus is increasingly shifting to how we can harness AI's power more directly. Next, we're exploring the hardware that's making local AI computing a reality. Local AI power: why AMD Ryzen outshines Intel for on-device computing. In the rapidly evolving world of artificial intelligence, the choice of processing hardware is paramount, especially for local, on-device computing. This approach offers distinct advantages: faster response times, seamless offline functionality, and significantly reduced risks of data leakage, making it ideal for sensitive sectors such as healthcare, finance, government, legal, and research and development. For small to medium-sized businesses standardizing on devices for hybrid or remote work, cloud-free AI solutions provide critical data sovereignty and compliance. Local AI processing also eliminates the unpredictable costs associated with paper token models, keeping intellectual property securely in-house. This model shifts expenditure from variable cloud API costs to fixed capital expenses for devices, coupled with management overhead. For teams with high daily AI interaction needs, like customer support, sales, or back-office operations, on-device processing often proves more cost-effective and efficient at scale. The question of whether an NPU neural processing unit is necessary is a resounding yes, particularly for AI tasks that require minimal power and efficiency, such as note-taking, summarization, or noise suppression. However, for more graphically intensive applications like image or 3D processing, the graphics processing unit, GPU, still reigns supreme. When considering processing power, the advice is not to chase a single numerical metric, like TOPS, but rather to match the specific workload requirements to whether the task is NPU or GPU-bound. For those considering ARM-based processors, such as Qualcomm's Snapdragon X chips, it's important to verify compatibility. While many modern applications support ARM architecture, confirming that critical software has native support or assessing the impact of emulation is crucial for ensuring a smooth user experience. Furthermore, the need for a GPU with substantial VRAM, specifically 1624 GB, arises for demanding applications like 3D visualization, video enhancement, and running larger generative AI models. This analysis, presented in collaboration with tech outlet EU, highlights the growing importance of specialized hardware for AI workloads. The article also touches upon the evolving naming conventions for workstations, such as HP's new G1i Intel, G1a AMD, and G1Q Qualcomm designations, which aim to clarify the underlying processor architecture. Ultimately, the emphasis is on selecting the right chip for the specific job, rather than relying on a one-size-fits-all approach. The article serves as a guide for businesses looking to optimize their AI capabilities through informed hardware choices, ensuring productivity, data security, and reliability in the modern digital landscape. Choosing the right hardware is key to unlocking AI's potential. Now, let's quickly recap the major headlines that have captured our attention this week. What a whirlwind of news! We covered every NFL team's intel, from breakout stars to trade whispers. We explored the controversial government stake in Intel and its economic implications. We dove into global chip talks and U.S. deals shaping AI's future. And we highlighted the best processors for powerful local AI computing. That's all for this week on Qualcomm Pulse. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more cutting-edge updates, hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode, leave a comment with your thoughts, and follow us on all our social channels for even more exclusive content.